Hi guys, this is
Alrighty,
No Camps Pod, right?
welcome to the No Camps podcast.
Love it, man.
This is Sunny G.
This is Akash
This is Jason.
playing with
Alrighty,
his beads in the corner.
is Anna
They're not beads.
What are
They're
they?
anal magnets.
Is that what they call them nowadays?
Yeah, they're.
Is that why they
they're-
banned them and they don't
Hey,
import them
here
from
it is.
China anymore? People put them up their butts.
The metallic
No, they
lining
fi-
just
they
wears
finally
off.
they finally lift.
Cause anal poisoning.
Yeah, I get nickel poisoning through
It's
my.
the
anal.
worst kind of lead poisoning.
Yeah.
It's
Anal
worse
cut.
than grayscale.
Alrighty, let's dive right in. Game of Thrones season 7, episode 2.
Yes.
All right. So first scene: Daenerys, Tyrion, Varys, and then a bunch of other unimportant.
Wait.
nobodies.
Let's just do general reactions. Like, so,
Oh,
Akash,
okay,
what was
sure.
your first?
Sure.
Your general
Oh,
reaction to it.
General reaction. I love this episode. It felt like a lot of shit happened. I'm not sure if I'm just really excited to see Game of Thrones, and because only 7 episodes this season, but I'm enjoying every single episode. But this episode did more than table set. I felt like it moved the story along a little bit more. Got to see more action, and got to see more of our characters cross paths. So I loved it. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I agree. I love this episode. I liked it better than episode 1.
Why is that?
Yeah, and I don't know. I just felt I there's a couple things in episode 1 that still like stick out to me. You know, the whole man bun thing. I still think about it. It just
With the man bun, man.
it just bothers me for some reason. In the Ed Sheeran stuff, but I don't know. But episode 1 is always like setting things up, and then now we're kind of just getting into the story, which is
It's so
a
funny
lot
to me
more fun.
because Ed Sheeran doesn't even cross my mind when I think of episode 1, yet it's so prominent in everyone else's mind.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I would say, I think this episode is a perfect example of the plot moving too fast. I think there's just a lot of things that are going on, a lot of conversations that are happening rapid fire that don't that just move, like, that could have been stretched out. Like in earlier seasons, I think there would just been more to talk about, more to show, actually, and more to show and less to tell outright. But all in all, I thought it was a good episode.
I've been hearing a lot of that online about season 7's moving too quickly, but I'm adjusted. I'm okay with the speed now. It's just like
Yeah, me
we've
too.
had 6 seasons to slowly move at this pace, but let's just start answering questions, doing shit. Let's get it. Let's get them dragons at King's Landing, baby.
Well, and we and we know there's a timeline too. I mean,
Yeah.
we know how many episodes are left in the whole series. So, yeah, I want to see shit happen too. I don't want all this build up in the last 2 episodes. Everything happens.
Yeah, like I get how big Westeros is now. Like I don't need to sit and wait 2 episodes for Jon to get to freaking Dragon.
Yeah.
What's island?
Dragonstone.
Dragonstone.
Like I get the distance. It's fine if you cut that out for me. So.
And it feels like we're done being introduced to new characters finally too.
Right.
Like I love it, but my God, like how many more names can you possibly remember?
Exactly.
I was thinking about like what is driving these plot directions more, and the 2 big things that stood out that are either like HBO wants an end / Benioff and Weiss like want to move on to different projects, so they just want to wrap it up. And then the other thing being that, like, I think the world is getting smaller. Like we've been to pretty much every new location
Yeah.
that they have introduced and might introduce. Like this season, I think the only other places we might see are maybe a little bit more of Highgarden, a little bit of Casterly Rock, and like a Eastwatch by the Sea. That castle on the wall.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like even ignoring the fact that they cut out like Mel getting to Dragonstone. Like it happened at the very end of season 6, and here we are, season 7, episode 2, and she's already there. Like
Right.
Yeah.
ignoring all of that, I think we've just seen, aside from actual plot-driven elements, we've seen like everything there is to see from Westeros, or more or less.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
there's probably both of those elements at play.
I mean, I don't know how much it takes to develop each episode, but could they not just give us 5 or 6 more episodes?
Right?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Just do 8 seasons and give us 20 episodes. But I'm enjoying everything so far, so let's dive
Yeah.
in.
Sweet.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do it.
So, opening scene. They're at the famous war room table in Dragonstone. Daenerys and Tyrion and Varys are all talking about what they should do first.
Right. And doesn't she jump straight into attacking Varys about where his loyalty was and how can she trust him, etc., etc.?
I think you're correct.
Yeah,
They
that's
start by
pretty cool.
talking about how it's like a stormy night, very similar to how the night that she was born.
Right.
And then almost immediately jumps into calling out Varys for trying to kill her when she was
Right.
a baby.
I mean, all joking aside, but this conversation probably should have happened before she led him on the boat to Westeros, right? This conversation probably happened a long time ago.
Well, I think she
unless
got
she's
what she
just-
needed.
unless
She
she's
got what she
getting-
wanted. Yeah.
Right. I mean, what value did Varys provide? Okay, I guess she provided the Tyrells and what are it called, the Sand Snakes or whoever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Martells.
Martells, right?
That's right.
I thought that was a very powerful scene. I mean, Varys showed that he's not a no one's bitch, and
Yeah.
he's for the people, and that I think
Dude,
that's
he,
what
he
she's
grew a
always
dick in
done.
that scene.
And he's like pretty much stating in very clear words his position that he's been like roundabout hinting at the entire show and like maybe brought up a couple of the times with other people. Like I feel like I recall him saying at some point earlier, like I represent the realm, or like
Right.
what
Yeah.
were the exact words?
Like, my loyalty is to the realm.
To the
Yeah.
people, right.
Virtually,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like we play these Game of Thrones and other people die. The common people. So it was nice to see, see him wiggle out of that situation, but in what seems to be like a genuinely honest way, as
Right.
opposed
Yeah.
to just saying something to save his neck.
Yeah, I like that it was like genuine. It's like one of the few times that in Game of Thrones you can actually like believe a character and the intentions that they like spill out, not only to save their neck, but yeah, you're right. It's like that is Varys, so we know that. So I'm not really worried about him like double crossing Daenerys.
And Varys of all people to do this, right?
I know,
And
right?
I think it's also the first time his intentions have actually been clear to the audience, because we've always seen him scheme and plot. Like, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. They don't want to make it more like a spider web.
Right.
Yeah. Which isn't he the king of spiders or something? What was his name, Lord?
Uh,
Varys, isn't he something to do with spiders?
something like that. Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
with spiders.
That was a long time ago. They haven't called him that in forever.
Yeah. Are you looking it up, Akash?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then the next scene is immediately, I guess, they head downstairs. If it's safe to say that where they are next is downstairs from the war room.
Yeah.
But there is Melisandre waiting to
Uh,
deliver the news, which
Love
is
Melisandre.
something that I think we've been waiting for them to meet for quite a while, right?
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
to
love her
bring
too.
Up the name Jon Snow in front of Dany, which was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess because this is
agree.
the first time she's like even
She doesn't even know
made
who it
aware of
was.
his existence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys hadn't watched the episode at that point, but when I saw that scene, I texted both of you guys just in all caps, OMG, OMG. Because I was so excited about the possibility of Jon and Dany actually meeting, which is what they've set up for next episode. So I cannot.
Yeah,
wait for
and
that.
Tyrion being there and being like, "Yeah, I know this guy. He's
Yeah.
legit." That was tight, man.
Exactly. That was so awesome. Yeah. So yeah, Varys is actually called the Spider. That's his nickname.
Just the
just the
spider.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Spider.
Master of Whispers. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Master. of
Okay.
Yeah,
Whispers.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what I also liked about that scene was, like we were saying before, like she doesn't mention that she resurrected John, because she was like, the prince that was promised, and then Miss Undy, the amazing Miss Undy, but she was like, no, your translation's wrong. That could be prince or princess, and so Danny's like, oh, princess, that's me. And Melisandre's kind of like, well, no, everyone's got a role to play. Just hold. You're cool, but you're not exactly the one. And then Varys was like, how do you know that this is the prince? Like, how do you know this is the one to follow? Since you followed Stannis and you fell. And like she doesn't mention like, well, I raised him from the dead. So
Right.
like that would be a pretty convincing argument.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah, that she
why
had
did
the
she
opportunity
leave
to say
that
that and
out?
she didn't.
Why?
Yeah, she's talking to someone with dragons. Like, it's not too far fetched for these people to understand. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, what? Dany's walked out of the fire twice, like buildings on fire,
Yeah,
unscathed.
that's almost
Yeah.
like common knowledge now. Like that's the story that's followed Dany. Like she's the mother of dragons, has been born of fire, etc., etc. Right?
Yeah.
So
But I guess that would make sense that she really is the princess, right? Because she is the whole fire thing. It
That's
is.
we found that there's no gender to the prince that was promised. It's prince or princess, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Who knew that High Valyrian had gender neutral words?
Oh wow!
Gender
So
We
neutral
learned
ahead of
pronouns.
time.
so much about linguistics. Yeah, this is great.
Okay. Next scene then is somehow a raven teleports to Winterfell with the note that Queen Daenerys requests Jon Snow's presence.
And to bend the knee.
Then the new.
Yeah, with Sansa dissuading him, and what's the old white guy, the Onion Knight?
Davos.
Yeah,
So
The Davos.
seeming mildly interested.
Right.
Yeah.
They seriously need to stop arguing in front of the entire North. It's very
Yeah.
professional. Have a conference room beforehand and talk it out, and then go,
Yeah, and then go in on a unified front, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's always just like fucking him over at these discussions,
Mm-hmm.
But so what happens in the scene exactly? To break it down.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it.
They read the note, and John's like, I don't know. Tyrion's cool,
Right.
and then Sansa was like, well, yeah, Tyrion's actually pretty cool. He's not like the other Lannisters.
Yeah,
And then she's like, yeah, but it's too dangerous. And then Sir Davos is like, yeah, it's too dangerous. But fire kills White Walkers. And what produces fire?
Dragons, baby.
Yeah, I'm assuming he meant dragons. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good assumption.
All right. Okay, so next scene, we're in King's Landing, and Cersei is asking Randall Tarley, and I assume a bunch into the Tyrells to join Queen Cersei. So it's nice to see Randall there talking to Jaime, because throughout the books and throughout, I guess, bits and pieces of the show, they've really hyped up Randall to be this insanely good warman and general.
Did they? Do we know him before this? Before Samuel went to his house? I didn't. Or maybe I didn't pay enough attention.
Well, I can't tell what came from the book and what came from the show, but they do. I mean, he's only ever been mentioned in passing, and every time he comes up, it's just how he's like one of the greatest like leaders, military leaders in the realm.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, he just seemed non-committal, right? Even to
Mhm.
Cersei.
I think the scene ended, I think, with Jaime slightly convincing him. I forget exactly what he says.
Yeah, he's talking about how Lena has, kind of shamed the realm or whatever by joining forces with the Dothraki, and he kind of emphasizes how the Dothraki have never stepped foot on Westeros before this, before now, So
Yeah, in
kind of-
history, yeah.
Yeah, so there was a scene here where Jaime addresses Tarly's son and calls him Rickon, and he's like,
Yeah.
my name's Dickon. I didn't
Yeah.
follow that, and
Yeah.
what was the humor behind that? Because it sounded like it was set to be like a funny scene.
Is it just
I
like
think-
like another knock on Rickon Stark, just like kick him while he's down, like he's dead, he can't, it's like he's just the punching bag of the Game of Thrones world. I think that's what it was. It's like, how can we get another dig at Rickon?
His name too is funny as Dickon.
And they pulled that actor out from having been gone for 5 seasons
Oh jeez.
Just to
for that
kill him.
one episode, just for him to get shot.
Right.
Yeah, we had like 9 words of dialogue in the initial show.
If you guys had to put money on it, you think he's gonna join the Lannisters, or he's too has too much honor?
Who, Rickon as a white?
No.
No, no, Tarly.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, no, I think he'll join him.
He's gonna join the Lannisters because he did
Yeah.
promise him he'd be Warden of the South once this is all done.
I'm if were it not for the way that they actually like filmed the shots, I would be torn. I'm fairly certain he's going to join them. But it's weird because his character comes off as being someone who's incredibly loyal, like that, like to a Ned Stark level, right? That like
Right.
dictates how he is the lord of, you know, his house, and contrasting that with like the entire purpose of being like loyal and being a lord, which is to, you know, go up the ladder, right? And move on up. So
Do you guys get the feeling that the Lannisters are outnumbered? I just don't feel like they have a large force, even with their allies. I feel the Tyrells, Cersei killed the head of their house. I mean, that's like common knowledge too. I think that she's the one that blew up the sept with the head of the house in there, and then Olenna's openly warring against her, right? So who did they have other than Euron? I mean, those guys are not the greatest guys. I mean, they don't have cavalry, right? They just have boats.
yeah.
So it feels, I don't know, it doesn't seem like they have that many houses behind them, or it doesn't feel like their forces are that large.
Yeah, they've been at war for a long time too.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
They don't have
I don't
like,
know.
the support of the people. They definitely don't have the manpower, right? They just have like maybe sea dominance with
Right.
Euron's alliance.
But I
but
just
guess
assumed
that's-
they were still so rich, they just kind of buy their armies as they go. You know.
Yeah.
and I expect that's why they were pleading to Randall, because if he can
Yes.
lead the other houses of the South, then
Yeah.
then at least they have their, I guess, ground fighting covered.
And I think we're supposed to assume that House Tarly is maybe the second biggest house, or a very prominent house in the South as well, if he thinks that he can muster all the forces in the South with
Yeah.
Randall. So
Okay, so next scene is Jorah seeing the doctor, and the doctor telling him, I think euthanasia is probably your best option.
Yeah.
Self-imposed euthanasia.
and that grayscale had spread. Last we saw was just on his forearm.
His arm.
Yeah, just on his forearm. Yeah.
Full torso right now. So
Yeah.
His whole chest and like back and stuff. Yeah. It's wild.
It looks pretty gnarly.
Yeah, I think the Maester gives him a day because he's a knight and tells him,
Yeah.
you have to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
and
I guess otherwise they're like legally allowed to kill him right then and there.
No, he said they'd send him to, what was it, like Valyria or something?
Oh, that's
where
right.
The Stonemen.
Valyria, yeah.
Valyria.
Gotcha.
I really wonder what happens. Like he said, he has 6 months till his mind goes away. He just becomes like a zombie, essentially.
Yeah, it becomes like, remember those crazy guys that he got it from? Just like,
Jesus.
zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the next scene is maybe my favorite from this episode. Cersei and Qyburn go into the dungeons of or crypts or whatever of the, what do you call it? The Red Keep? Is that what the name of the castle that they live in?
Yeah. I think it's just within the bigger castle. I don't know. The Red Keep's like a separate part, right? That's like where the Tommen's quarters is or something.
Maybe.
Anyways, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's
Moving
not-
on.
Yeah. they're underground somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're underground, and we finally get to see dragon skulls again,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
was so awesome about
Fucking
when
huge
showed
ones too.
in the first season. So they see Balerian's skull,
Huge.
which is it's not only huge, it's like historic. It
Yes.
makes no sense why they would do what they would do to it. It's just a disgrace. But then Qyburn whips out a big ass bow and arrow that I think he stole from Lord of the Rings, and mounted one of those big ass arrows.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it
Good
sucks
luck, man.
because You
It's
know,
like hitting a real life flying dragon. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think in order to kill it, he'd have to hit, Drogon has like an exposed scale, right? So he has to
Yeah.
hit that scale dead
kind
on.
of like Smaug, right?
Yeah.
Or right to the
Smaug.
eyeball. I don't know.
That's the joke, Jason.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, and it went right through his skull, which I would have to assume the dragons are a little tougher than that, but I don't know. Given how easily pierced Drogon was when he rescued Daenerys from that
Yeah.
stadium, I guess they're not as like completely invulnerable as you might think.
Also, that skull's
Yeah, we're
quite old, so I mean,
That's
it's
also
hundreds of years old.
Yeah,
So
300
But-
roughly.
We're probably gonna see a dead dragon this season. That's
really
what
hope we
it
don't.
seemed like.
That's
I mean, it's what they're building to.
yeah. I mean,
Sadly, I hope it's just
will
one of the green one or one of the other ones. Not her favorite.
That's gonna ruin Jon, Tyrion, and Dany on the dragon, though. That's what we all
Yeah.
want to see.
Oh,
I don't think
well,
that was
maybe-
ever going to happen.
Well, maybe he's gonna hit one like Tyrion's on, and Tyrion's gonna fall off the green one. Just fuck that green dragon out.
Just my luck.
Okay, and
What was the next scene?
next scene is Daenerys addressing her all-woman council, except for Tyrion, which is crazy because when you think about it, the Ellaria is the only Martell left because she killed her brother.
Mm.
Olenna is the only Tyrell left because Cersei blew the rest of them up. And Yara is half in charge of the Iron Islands because she stole all the good ships. And so now they're pretty much trying to rule King's Landing. So I guess we can put an end to the gender debate, right?
Yeah, I don't like it personally. You know, too many women, not enough guys. I'm not into that.
I think we can safely say Sunny and I both don't agree with Jason's viewpoint. It's, from a backwards time and space.
Yeah, I'm totally an ally.
The whole world's going to shit, and it's because women are in charge. It's not a coincidence. It's what's happening. Just watch the show.
Just
The views
glide on
expressed
over
by Jason do not represent the views of the podcast.
at all. Yeah, flood his Twitter, not ours. But moving on, really quick. Tyrion also comes up with a beautiful plan, right? He splits up the forces. He says he has Yara take what's her face, Ilaria, down to Sunspear. And
Yep.
then he says
To pick up the boys.
right, pick up the boys. And the second half of the fleet will take the Unsullied to Casterly Rock
Yep.
and take over that castle. Which
Take the castle.
good
Yeah.
plan, He's
Yeah.
a good guy. He's a good
And
player.
given the trailers, it seems
Sounds
like
good.
that at least that plan will be successful. So
Hope to God.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pray to
find
God
out.
they don't lose Castle Rock. Okay, and then the scene ends with Olenna talking directly to Daenerys.
Right.
Just saying how if you were smart, you wouldn't trust all these smart dudes like Tyrion.
Right. And she's also,
Which, in retrospect, seems to be correct.
Yeah.
I think to that point as well, she kept on saying, "Why are we using our troops? Use your freaking Unsullied, right?" And Tyrion, strong about saying, we want the Westerosi to be taken by Westerosi people, not
Yeah.
the Unsullied and not the what are the horse people called?
Dothraki.
Dothraki. So
Yeah, I thought that was really clever.
And it makes sense because it doesn't matter who takes Casterly Rock as long as it's not in the hands of the Lannisters, right?
Yeah.
But for every other big house that you need to win over, it makes more sense. Okay, then moving on. Next scene. Oh, I guess this might be Jason's favorite scene of the whole show.
You could call it the climax of the
Yeah, so we get to see Homegirl.
Oh yeah, the dickless love scene.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And we get to see Grey Worm. I'm actually kind of offended that they didn't show his patch. But
me too. I
Cool
was
to see, like,
curious.
Never been shown before on TV. I think that would have been an interesting moment. And kind of, Sonny, this kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier. They had to really stop dilly-dallying with this plot and have them finally connect and hook up. So this kind of closes this part. You know what I mean? There's no
agreed.
more what if.
Yeah.
Let's close this storyline down. That's kind of what's happening because presumably he's going off to war. We don't know if he's coming back.
Yeah. Oh, and it answered like one of the longest running questions in Game of Thrones, which is, would Grey Worm be able to please a woman and without a dick? And it very clearly
We can
the
finally
answer is
put
yes.
that to bed. Yeah,
Finally.
After all the debates and deliberation, it's finally over.
The most important question is
The most important question, yeah. Who gives a shit about the Iron Throne? But honestly, I mean, I guess it was a cool scene, but it kind of dragged out too. I feel like this was the scene, like last episode was Daenerys walking to the castle at Dragonstone. That just took forever. And I feel like this was kind of that scene too. Like, they spent a lot of time undressing themselves and, casually brushing over the no dick part. Yeah. I mean, it was like way too long. But I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind seeing that chick naked. So I guess it's okay.
Again, Jason is a fucking Neanderthal over there.
What?
Yeah.
You guys are telling me that you don't think she's a beautiful woman? Am I the only one who thinks she's a beautiful woman?
I respect women. Okay.
I don't think beautiful was the word you were thinking of when you were saying that stuff.
Look, some guys are heathens. And they picture women in bikinis, but what was it that Michael said? Oh, fuck it, the quote.
Moving on again.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We're taking to Old Town, where Sam tries to convince Professor Slughorn, hey, let me do this operation. I'm a real doctor. I got this. I read it in a book once.
Yeah. In the restricted section.
He's
In the
very
restriction
confident.
section that you told me not to read, yeah.
He's very confident for never having done surgery and being in the Citadel for I don't know how long. Like you guys guess, like 6 months, maybe less.
I mean, what's he got to lose? He, right?
I mean,
Otherwise, the guy's just going to go
Besides
batshit.
accidentally
and,
contracting Grace ago. I mean,
exactly.
besides that,
okay, I take
just
it back.
a
You're correct.
minor detail.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to say more about that scene?
Nothing really.
I found it interesting that
It's gross.
go ahead.
No, because I think you should.
Well, no, I shouldn't have asked the question and then proceeded to answer it myself. So, go ahead.
I thought the scene was disgusting. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like a very painful procedure. I don't know. It just seems like he's.
Whoa! We're not there yet. Don't blow your load. No,
Oops.
we're just talking about the procedure. We haven't gotten started yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just only thing I was gonna say is I found it interesting that the professor is talking about how you have to have like a style. You can't just write your own book. You gotta understand your voice, which is interesting coming from people who are just supposed to document facts and
Right.
move on with their lives.
Yeah.
But whatever. Okay, next scene. Okay, sorry. I was premature. You're correct. It leads directly into the scene where they perform the surgery on Jorah. And he's also seen writing a letter to Khaleesi. But I can't read it, so I'm not going to try. So I assume, he's just saying, hey, in case you didn't know from like the 20 times I told you, I love you. And I did this for you.
He's aggressive. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Unrelenting.
aggressive. Yeah. But back to what I was saying, the scene was, oh my God, man. It made me cringe so hard.
It's another reason I want
epic.
Jorah to die,
I like Jorah. I don't know why we wished death
Yeah,
upon him.
fuck Jorah. He's a weird man.
I am
It's
just
weird.
in disbelief with how good these practical effects looked.
Right? Dude.
Oh, yeah.
And normally I would find someone peeling off a scab to be oddly pleasing, but this
This not even like a scab.
this is not even close.
Well,
Yeah,
why would you find that pleasing? Why is that pleasing, Sonny?
Oh, it's nice.
You
It's
like
like
watching scabs get ripped off?
a nice little. I mean, All right, let's not get crazy. All right, just hang on, Scabs.
Dude, there's people on YouTube that watch
Nothing like
nipple
grayscale.
popping videos. This is nothing. Like,
Yeah, those are gross.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Those are gross.
Disgusting. I don't want to digress, but yeah, we'll talk about it after the podcast.
Oh, and then probably one of the best transitions was from him peeling off grayscale to them digging into a hot pie to Arya.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, because
yeah.
I cringed even harder, and then it was like, oh, okay, thank God. This is
I was
not
watching
what I thought it was.
this episode with my sister, and everyone on TV shows eats like a slob. Like you saw the spoon go into the pot pie, and it gets it all over his beard. He's like slopping up. Like,
Yeah.
good God, that
was the same thing with the chickens. Like they just shove the chicken, like whole chickens, into their face, and then like biting off pieces of whole chickens. Nobody eats a fucking chicken that way.
Do you guys remember the scene in Lord of the Rings when Denethor, I think, sends Faramir and everyone into their deaths essentially? It Minas Tirith, and he's sitting on his throne, and Mary's singing him a song, and he's eating those cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, with tomato juice. just
That is the most iconic.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, dude, I love that part.
And it looked delicious, dude.
So
I don't know
good.
how he made it delicious. Yeah,
Not the way he was eating it. Like
No,
nobody
are you kidding
eats
me?
cherry tomatoes like that.
Those tomatoes
Excuse me,
exploded.
sir.
That
I
was
do.
delicious.
Ever since I've seen that movie, I eat cherry tomatoes just like that.
You are no longer allowed at Olive Garden.
Anyways,
Cool. So, yeah, we see Hot Pie and Arya talk to each other. I forgot that he knows, even though he calls her Ari or Ari or whatever, that he knows who she is.
right.
Yeah, and then also said you're pretty good looking for a guy,
Right.
or something similar to that.
The huge
No, he's like,
reveal
I
was, oh no, Jason, go ahead.
No, I'm just repeating what Sonny said. So you go ahead.
The huge reveal here was Hot Pie tells Arya that Jon won the Battle of the Bastards. So
Yeah.
the Bolton,
And it's already got a name.
Of course.
right, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It already has a name. It's so impressive. But so she
News
finds out
travels
the
way fast.
Boltons. Yeah, she finds out the Boltons don't hold Winterfell. And do you guys notice a lot of her mannerisms here? A lot like Jason's favorite character, Sandor Clegane.
It's my favorite character.
That's Sonny's.
It's
Yeah,
like that.
I,
It's not cool.
I agree.
Yeah, my favorite part was when Arya said, "Hey, Hot Pie, see you later, you fat cunt." I was like, "Oh, Arya,
Yeah,
you've learned so much from the Hound."
typical Arya.
What is it about the Hound you love so much?
He's a
Just
great
love
character.
You know, other
Quick
than,
whips,
other than
or-
calling everyone a cunt.
Cunning.
I don't know. I think it was probably great when he left King's Landing and abandoned Joffrey, because at that point you realize, despite the fact that like he was bred to be a knight and to be someone's hound, he still has his own. It's not dignity is not the right word, but he's like.
He's an
He cares
independent man.
enough about what the shit he has to do that he's just like, no, fuck this, I'm out. So you would think it's someone like him who'd just be like a dumb, loyal servant. And then for whatever reason, the fact that like he never tried pulling anything on Sansa or Arya,
Right.
despite the fact that he obviously could. And even when I don't know if he ever had the explicit opportunity of selling Arya for money like he said he was going to, but I feel like if he really wanted it, it would have happened, So that's part of the reason.
You could almost argue he's the one character that's probably helped shape Arya the most, yeah. Except for, I mean, she learned her skill set from
Jagan Hagar.
Yeah, Jaqen, but like her personality, I think a lot of it comes from the Hound.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah.
Cool. Next scene is Jon Snow addressing everyone, telling them, "She's got dragons.
He wants to
She's
go
got
down.
an army and dragons. We need the dragons to fight the others."
That's
Yeah, it's spot on.
spot on.
Yeah, and then leaves Sansa in charge, which doesn't seem like she saw that coming.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
seemed really surprised
she
by that.
liked it.
Yeah. But as you stated earlier, they really need to get on the same page before they address everybody because
Sandbagging is
God,
out of
it makes them
control.
look bad.
It is out of control.
A 15-minute pre-meeting would have solved all of it.
Yeah. She brings up the fact that Aegon burned her grandfather in King's Landing. Try to get him to stay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. Sansa's learning. I mean, we want her to speak up, right?
Yeah. She's one of my favorite characters.
Boo.
I'm not sure. Is she your favorite
Excuse
character?
me?
Like at the start of this season, or
No, like 2 seasons ago.
when she was constantly being raped by Boltons?
Is that the only part you remember?
Who are you, man? You just hate women? It's a bad
Otherwise,
look.
it's being pushed on me.
Is that the end of the scene? I guess. Do you guys remember anything else that happens in this scene?
That's it, right? He leaves her in charge, and it cuts to the next scene.
Well, she looks at Littlefinger, right? Or Littlefinger looks at her.
He's always just snickering and
They exchange a look.
corner, smirking.
Yeah.
Looking all pouty. Yeah, and then they head to the crypts, and they talk in front of a statue that I presume is Ned Stark because it looks exactly like Sean Bean. Like, I remember watching it and being like, damn, they got Sean Bean's face down for that statue.
Yeah.
And then Littlefinger starts, spitting that hot shit that he's always talking, and Jon Snow ain't buying, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jon Snow checks him and says, if you go near my sister, if you go near Sansa again, I'll kill you.
Set the others on you.
I'll set the others on you. And then pieces out with,
so that's a straight
with Davos.
callback to season 1, episode 3. Ned does the same thing to Littlefinger outside the brothel. Same scene by scene, exact same
That's
thing.
right.
So this could
But was
bode
it
terribly for Jon. If
What was what was he saying? What was Ned Stark saying to Littlefinger then? Like, who was he telling to get away from? Catelyn?
I'm sure it was Catelyn. He was probably making a comment about Catelyn.
Yeah, something like that. And then the scene ends with not only Jon and Davos rolling out, but Littlefinger eyeing Sansa, which I interpret to mean that, all right, now that Jon's gone, blocking all of my plans, now I can start working my magic on Sansa and get her to, do what I want. So we'll see.
Yeah, he's been eyeing an opportunity to talk to her ever since, I think, even the first episode of the season. They've been cutting to him just like kind of looking at her like longingly. So I think he'll finally.
All right, and then next,
Much like the way Ser Jorah looks at Dany.
Exactly.
Yeah, but even then, Jorah seems to be way more
Douchey, I agree.
way less selfish about it. He kind of like genuinely loves her, whereas Littlefinger, I think, like really just lusts after one of the Tully women, and that's about it. Except for Lisa, forget her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the next scene is probably one of my least favorite in a long time, which is Arya meeting Nymeria again.
Why is it your least favorite?
So I see this going two ways. It was either one, just like not good directing, because like they pretty much make eye contact, and then Nymeria like virtually doesn't recognize Arya. It seems like maybe enough to be like, I'm not going to eat you, but like nothing more significant than that. So it was either just that was the intention, and maybe they didn't execute it as well as like I thought they could have, if that was the intention of the scene, or they are setting it up for something else later, where Arya needs help and Nymeria will be there, and then Nymeria will save Arya, and Arya will be like, "Oh, you did remember me! Oh my god!"
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna comment about the CG or something, but that's a good point.
Nah, CG was decent.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, but that is one big ass wolf.
They
Like, I don't know if that was the real size.
They got to be setting up for something, or else it would be just like such a waste, like such a waste of a
why
scene.
even bring her
Like,
back?
Exactly.
I haven't thought
Yeah.
about her
It's like fan service.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah,
Exactly.
we like Nymeria, so let's bring her back.
Right. And if that's all this scene amounts to, then I'll be severely disappointed.
And it also reminded me of Jurassic World a little bit. That scene. It was kind of like, okay, so all these other wolves are teaming up with like the bigger, badder wolf, and suddenly like they're all one species and hanging out together. Kind of like how those trained velociraptors just kind of followed that, whatever the fuck mutant dinosaur. Yeah, I don't know. Did you
Until
get
Chris
that
Pratt
vibe?
came around and he's like, remember
Yeah.
Blue when I breastfed you myself?
Yeah, you're my boy Blue. Yeah,
Did y'all like
You're
that
my
movie
boy
at all?
Blue.
Or did you actively
Yeah.
hate that movie?
what's that?
Did y'all like that movie or did you actively hate it?
Oh, I loved it.
No, I didn't mind it. Yeah,
Really?
It wasn't great, but I loved it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but I loved it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm going to go see it in theaters multiple
Yeah.
times.
Also,
It wasn't
it's a
good, but it's like my
movie,
favorite movie.
But,
I mean-
after I watch it, I'll download a cam of it and watch it again.
Yeah,
No
okay.
cams allowed.
No cams allowed, dude.
No cams allowed, bruh.
No cams allowed.
Like we mentioned earlier in the episode, the season's so short that I don't think they're wasting scenes, right? I mean,
Yeah, they can't be.
unless literally it's just a fan service scene and it's a throwaway. That'd be so disappointing. But
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's my point.
maybe it is because it's closure, and it's like maybe fans wanted to see that Nymeria survived, and it's like, all right, well there you go, she's alive and well, and she's got a pack of bitches with her, and like so you're good. So maybe that's it. Maybe so at the end of the series, maybe they're closing loops early, so at the end you're not like, oh, well, remember Nymeria? Well, yeah, she popped up.
Well, okay, I hope that isn't it, and I'm pretty sure that isn't it for two reasons. So, like, one, I just hope it's not it because, I thought that scene could have been executed way better if they were trying to get closure. But I don't think that's it because I do recall, well, I know from the book, but probably in the show earlier seasons, people just whispering about how there's like a pack of wolves led by a giant she-wolf.
I think
So,
that's more
and
of
like,
the book, Sonny. I don't think the show's really ever stressed that as.
you don't think they ever said that in passing?
I don't know if I remember that.
I wouldn't put money
Okay.
on it, but I have a
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. But that was a
Maybe
huge,
not then.
That was very strong in the books. I remember in the books that was
Mhm.
mentioned a lot. And in the book, she has like dreams where she sees through Nymeria as well. So
Yeah, which is
Oh,
an
really?
element of the show that I get why they didn't want to do that because they didn't want to take away from Bran being able to have visions and warg and stuff. But
right,
it's really cool that all the Starks have
Some-
green dreams.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and then the last scene is just the whole water battle, starting with the Sand Snakes bickering at each other, and then Alaria trying to seduce Yara, and then them all duking it out against Euron, and then what's his face Greyjoy pussing out
Yeah,
for the second time.
Can't believe that.
I laughed
Which
out
was-
loud when he jumped off the ship.
I thought he was going to grow a dick too, but his remained absent.
We can't have that much dick growing in one episode.
Yeah.
We got to spread it out across the season.
There could be an argument for that was actually a smart move because it is one less person that's captured, right? I mean, one
Less
more-
Greyjoy.
Yeah, one less Greyjoy
Yeah.
captured. So
Definitely wasn't doing their relationship any favors though.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
I like at this point, I don't think there's any way she could trust him with anything.
right.
What do you think he was thinking? Was he just like afraid, or was he like just like afraid of the fight, or do you think he was like afraid of getting captured and tortured again?
It was probably the second one.
Yeah,
Like I think he fears Euron because Euron is just like this wild card so much that he's like, yeah, I'll avoid getting captured and then letting you do whatever you want to me at all costs.
Right.
Especially since they all know that he doesn't have a dick, so they like respect him even less and would enjoy torturing him even more than otherwise.
So yeah, do you think
Yeah.
he became Reek at that moment, or it was a moment of fear?
Oh yeah, he totally reverted, I think,
But if he
into
was Reek, wouldn't he like bend the knee and be like, "Euron, I'm sorry, like, let me help you," etc., etc.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess to a certain degree, yeah, you're right. But
Well,
he definitely
he escaped Ramsay as Reek, right?
that's also true.
Yeah,
I mean, he was definitely more Reek than he's been in a while since leaving.
right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think they did all this to service of killing the sand snakes.
Yes.
But talk about
they
a
were
storyline
annoying.
that went nowhere, right? That's
Yeah.
God.
You're right though. There was really nothing to that to those three girls.
And except for the cute one, yeah, the
She's
the
still
other
alive,
ones
right?
were just bland.
Yeah.
Huh?
She's still alive. The
Yeah.
Okay.
Her and her
'Cause
mom were
They
captured.
showed the other two hanging off the ship. as,
Yeah,
like, a
that's
closing
right.
scene. So crazy episode, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. Got me excited. I didn't see the sneak preview for the next episode.
Yeah,
Though.
I don't think I did either. So I
Yeah.
don't really have comments on
I don't
it.
think I'm going to.
Yeah, let's keep our comments about just the episode and not try to talk about what we
Yeah.
saw for the future episode. Because people might be avoiding those spoilers.
Well, yeah, because then the whole Nymeria thing would have been way cooler if I didn't know she was coming. You know,
Yeah.
like it would have been a cooler surprise.
Right. So yeah, overall good episode for me as well. I think we kind of highlighted that at the beginning. But...
Give it a 6 out of 10.
6.
Damn.
Wow. Damn, dude. Harsh. Jesus.
I mean, come on.
Listen.
There's a whole 6 numbers below 6 out of 10 that you could give it. So I think 6 is pretty good.
Barely
Well-
above average for you is what you're saying.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
It wouldn't pass. I mean, 60%. It's a failing grade.
Yeah, I never understood that, but sure.
Why is 70 the average? Shouldn't it be 50?
Yeah,
Which is because it's half away.
It's just the average.
I guess it makes people feel less bad.
Yeah.
If I got a 50, you'd just be like, oh my god, I only got half of them right.
Right.
Oh,